This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Tyson, and we're going to get things kicked off here with a couple of bona fide Hall of Famers, the Godfather and Ron Simmons. If you had to get in a fight with one of these guys in real life, who would you pick and why, Tony?
I'd pick the Godfather. It's not to, just only because I know more about Ron Simmons, and I know that Ron Simmons will hurt you and not realize he has. A perfect example, Starrcast. I think it was the first Starrcast. Was he there at the first Starrcast?
He was indeed. Yes, sir.
Yes. In the back office, I kind of put my arm on his shoulder. He turned around. He saw me. First time we'd seen each other. We're talking 20 years, right?
Yeah.
And he hugged me, and I swear he almost broke me in half. It was like bones were fucking cracking. And I told him, I said, I got it. You're right. Good to see you. So that's why, just because he's a badass. Speaking of badass, still the best commentary team ever.
Certainly, without question. And we see Jim Ross there. Of course, Jim just passed the anniversary of his wife, Jan, passing away. She passed away, I guess this past Sunday would have been the 3-year anniversary. So if you haven't already, take a minute and send JR a tweet and let him know we're thinking about him at JR's BBQ. But here's somebody else we're thinking about, Sonny and LOD. The LOD has been repackaged here. It's LOD 2000. Animals going with bike shorts, and they've got different, like a goalie mask type situation. And then a much different presentation. I mean, they got shin guards and the shoulder pads look different. It's a lot different, but what's most different is we don't have Paul Ellering. We've got Sonny. And as a kid, man, I was all about this version.
Well, you know what? This is the very first time I've seen this version. The very first time I've seen these guys walk out looking like this. And I'm all with it. I'm really all with it now.
Yeah. Sonny's got her gear that matches, and she's taking the center spotlight. I don't know that she was really the right manager for them. How about Hawk with a much different haircut? They're going buzz cuts instead of the crazy mohawk and reverse mohawk. Even the face paint is different. They've tried to reinvent themselves, but unfortunately they don't look like the old Road Warriors once they take all the gear off. I mean, it's all different gear, but the old Hawk looked like he was about to explode.
Mm-hmm.
And this just doesn't look like the same tag team. And they've clearly lost a step. This is not going to be the best LOD we've ever seen. They're struggling to get out of their gear right now.
Right.
But kudos for Vince for just trying something. By the way, on the outside, you see Bart Gunn and Bob Holly, two legit badasses, like no doubt about it, badasses. They are the new Midnight Express.
Mm.
And anytime you put the word new in front of something, it's dead.
Mm.
So it's a battle royal here. Forearm, 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 forearm.
So hold on a second. Only one team got an entrance, or two teams got an entrance?
Well, yeah, two teams got an entrance.
Okay.
But it was really just to showcase LOD. To be clear, everybody else got an entrance for the live house, but you just couldn't show it all on the actual show. It's a 15-team battle royal. They're going to go 8 minutes and 19 seconds. Meltzer would write, the match was so nondescript, they never even bothered telling us who was in there in the first place. The real story was the new look of LOD, with Sonny dressed in very little as the new manager of the duo, with ring outfits that were basically copies of what Antonio Pena was dressing as wrestlers as years ago. Animal wearing the shorts, the same face paint, but sans mohawks, and everybody now rocking the very short crew cuts. So lots of folks in this, not a great match, but I understand the need to get as many guys on a show as you can. Interesting to note, the Rock and Roll Express are in this. So technically the Rock and Roll Express are on a WrestleMania. How about that?
How about that? Yeah, you can see Ricky Morton. What's Vega doing down on the floor here?
He's part of the Los Boricuas.
Yeah, but it looked like he was kneeling, and he's out, but looked like somebody legitimately got hurt.
His tag partner is Perez there. He had a hairy back. He would have loved him. It gets a -1.5. Meltzer would write, to describe Hawk's performance in this match as awful, would be to terribly demean every awful wrestler in history. By this point, Meltzer had really, really soured on Hawk. Hawk once upon a time looked like he was one of the biggest and brightest stars in the business, but here, man, a rough lifestyle, some hard living, some injuries, some age. It's just caught up with him a little bit. How about Barry Windham sliding in here?
Yikes, man. Barry. I think I've talked to a few people who said Barry's hasn't been doing well as of late. His health's not good. He's had a heart attack, of course. Whoa!
Out goes prime time Brian Lee, aka the Underfaker. Barry Windham had a personal issue with him and took care of business. How about on the outside? Two Cold Scorpio's growing his hair out. He looks a little bit like Ordell Roby and Jackie Brown. Do you remember that movie?
Oh, yes, I do.
I love when he pops the trunk and Chris Tucker's in the back and he brings Robert De Niro out to show him. It came down to a case of him or me. Before I let it happen to me, I'll kill him. 10 look just like him. Great shit.
Great flick, as a matter of fact.
You best believe it ain't gonna be me. Great shit. Great shit.
Unfortunately, the great shit is the movie, and the great shit is not going on here in the ring. But you know what? There is no way that I've said it a million times, and I think everybody watching and listening to me, there's never been a really good battle royal. There have been very good Royal Rumbles, but not where you've got 20 in the ring at one time.
No, I agree. I mean, you can't really see what's going on. There's a lot of moving parts, a lot of action, but nobody really fucking knows what's going on. And it's just, it's too much. It's like, it's sort of like, when I came over to your house that one time and you had like what was it called? The World's Biggest Gangbang you wanted me to watch. It was where like 620 guys lined up to take their shot at this lady named, I think her name was Houston. And you were like, Houston, we have a problem. And like one after another, these dudes are trying to hit their finish on her. And it's like, dude, I don't want to see, there's too many guys here. I can't focus on the action. I'm out. Yeah. And you're like, no, this is good shit, man.
Yeah. I think you have me mixed up with going over to Cassio's house.
No, Cassio's not allowed to have things like that.
Okay.
Judy runs a tight ship, buddy.
Oh, by the way, I know you have seen our abode before. Our abode is getting cleaner and less cluttered by the day.
What's going on? Has all of the hysteria on screen motivated Lois to get her house in order? Literally.
It may be. We had 2 new garage doors put in.
What?
And 2 new garage doors put in and completely cleared out with the exception of tools and things that we need. We can drive 2 cars into our garage now.
So your brand new Ford Explorer that you bought with that sweet, sweet con money is now inside the garage?
Not yet, but we can put it in there if we want.
Sure. Why would it be?
Yeah. Why would it be? We just, one thing at a time here, Conrad. One thing at a time. God damn it. We're old.
Well, why don't we get in the fucking attic and get my belt? What's the hold up?
We'll work on that today. How's that sound? Is that one of the Godwins?
Yeah. That's Henry O, one of the nicest men that ever lived. Yeah, a hoss and a half, by the way. I was at a convention in Charlotte, the NWA Legends Fan Fest a couple of years ago, and he was there with his wife, I think. Maybe it wasn't his wife, maybe it was a fan. Whatever. I saw him eating dinner, and I did a double take. So I think I know that guy. Then I was like, well, I don't need to get caught staring because that's a big motherfucker, and he could break me in half. And then eventually he came over and said, what's up? And yeah, it was indeed Henry Godwin. And I think that means he's a listener to the show, so watch your fucking mouth.
All right, Henry, sorry.
Just in case.
Yeah. Okay. Henry, let me say this while watching my mouth. Don't ever go over and talk to fucking Conrad. He may have some sort of virus. Watch out. Down he goes. And Henry, I'm sure you can't wear that Stars and Bars shirt anymore.
Who needs to wear a Stars and Bars shirt?
Well, no one does, but he was wearing it there. Can't wear it anymore.
Can I just tell you, as a kid growing up in the South, like, I was around that so much as a kid. Like it was everywhere, like.
Sure. And there are a lot of places still in the South.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say is like, now I never see it. And I realize that I live in a fairly progressive part of Alabama, if there's such a thing. But I'm saying Huntsville is really like when you go to like national conferences and people are talking about Alabama, they'll always say, well, now Huntsville's different. Like, just because we have missile defense here and so many contracts and, we got Lockheed Martin and Boeing. And I mean, every nuclear weapon the world ever needed is manufactured and stored here. And I mean, so there's a lot of really smart people here. I mean, I think we probably have the highest per capita of engineers as anywhere in the world. Yeah. And So as a result, the household income and the education level, and it's a much more affluent area than maybe people assume when they hear, oh, Alabama. Now that's probably true for a lot of the more rural parts of Alabama, but that's not the case here. Anyway, I'm saying all that to say, I've probably seen the quote unquote rebel flag or the Confederate flag twice in the last 20 years in real life. But when I was a kid, it was everywhere. And I think it was just at the time, I don't know, it was on the top of the fucking Dukes of the Hazzard car. And, you know, it didn't have such a negative connotation, at least to honkies like me. I mean, it was just the top of the fucking Dukes of Hazzard car. I don't fucking know. And, you know, whatever. But now, you know, as you're, once you grow up and you become more aware of everything going on in the world, it becomes like, fuck, man, why did we ever do that?
Yeah. You know, I get it. It never did bother me either. And when I look at it now, when I see it now, it to me, it symbols defiance in the face of the world.
Well, that's what Hayes said it was supposed to be all along back when he was rocking it, because he was like, no, man, it was just, we were the Freebirds. We were here to fuck with Texas. So the idea of me talking about going to world class, the rebel flag was more of a Georgia thing. So we're going to come in here. It would have been akin to bringing a Georgia Bulldog flag. And of course I was like, well, why didn't you do that? And he's like, oh, fuck, you got all the answers. But this was literally nicknamed a rebel flag. So if we're going to rebel against the promotion or the baby faces or whatever, then maybe it fits. But now, goddamn, it just sticks out like a sore thumb, because you're like, oh, fuck, man, this is not good.
Legion of Doom win this. One more thing about the rebel flag. You know where you see the most of them?
Where is that?
North Florida.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. That's where well, maybe it's because I probably spend more time in North Florida. You know, the Jacksonville area, Georgia, Florida game, drive down there all the time. I've driven down to, you know, the Tony Khan's office down there a number of times. And so maybe it's because that I see that part of the country more than the rest. And maybe that's an unfair statement. But anyway, it just also confirms that to me, that if you're a Florida Gator, fuck yeah. Okay, so the Legion of Doom win it.
Well, they kind of had to after the big entrance and all that, right?
You're right.
So Tony, go ahead.
I also noticed that Animal's got trunks on. He doesn't have full tights.
Yeah, he's rocking the bicycle shorts.
Yeah.
Trying to switch it up.
Also rocking that gut.
Now, Animal looks like he's in much better shape than Hawk here, which is probably the first time that sentence has ever been said.
All right. So they start out WrestleMania with a battle royal. Not bad.
You ever hear the phrase "never meet your heroes"?
Oh yeah.
Sometimes that's true.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you get a notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.